lots and lots of food has come out. So we've got olives, we've got bread, salads, we've got potato, chicken, and some local wheat dishes as well. So wish us luck trying to eat all of this. Hey everyone, we're Hannah and Jonny. For the past 3 years, we've been exploring in our self-built camper van. After loving life on the road, we realised it was time to find a place that feels like home, a perfect base for our adventures. With new adventures on the horizon, we're excited to see where this next chapter takes us. Join us each week as we continue to find new adventures.
Good morning everybody and welcome to day 5 of our Jordan adventure. We have woken up in the middle of the desert in this beautiful lodge, and I thought we'd just give you a quick tour of what our room looks like.
So we were quite surprised when we arrived last night how amazing this room is actually for being in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of this desert. And we've got like a beautiful 4-poster bed. It's absolutely huge, 3 pillows wide, and there's some really cool features in here as well. It's got like a very Arabian theme. And we've got like traditional rugs as well, some really cool like old furniture, and then just through here we've got a big wardrobe with storage and blankets and stuff, and then in here we have the bathroom, which has a shower, a toilet and also a sink.
This entire lodge runs off generators as well, because as we said, we're pretty much in the middle of nowhere, and the generators come on at sunset and then they turn off about 7:30 in the morning. So the whole day they have no electricity, and the manager here, he was incredible. He took us out last night, as you saw in yesterday's episode, and then he sat with us for dinner, and then he was telling us that he'll then work late into the night answering emails and getting all of his work done because the electricity is on in the evening. The sun is very strong here already this morning, but it's incredibly peaceful here in the desert. You can hear birds tweeting and flying around, and that's because, as we showed you yesterday, the big water source that is just, a few minutes away from where this lodge is built. So there's lots of life here, and there's lots going on, and we're going to be heading to some really cool destinations today. So after breakfast this morning, Mohammed, who runs the lodge, has driven us in his 4x4 20 kilometers further into the desert because he said there was a forest here, and none of us believed him because it's so dry and barren and really, really hard to live here. But yeah, he's driven us here. There's a big body of water behind us, lots of fresh water, and there is in fact trees surrounding us, which is absolutely incredible. And we've come here, there's lots of life, there's birds, and the ground we've just driven across is so cracked and dry, and then we just come over the hill and this beautiful lake and forest here, which is amazing to see. You might be thinking from the video that that's not a very impressive forest, but considering how dry and barren it is here, to have any sort of trees in a large quantity like this out here is absolutely incredible. Just behind me as well, over there, less than 10 kilometers away, is the Syrian border. We can actually see one of the Jordanian military watchtowers. And so yeah, if we went any further, we'd be getting into Syria, which we're not going to do today. We're going to explore this, and then we're going to start heading back towards the lodge, have a toilet break and freshen up before heading back to the main road.
It's so peaceful here, and the mud, you can actually see the birds' footprints. It's like all over the mud, and there's loads of birds. They're all just like enjoying this lovely spot.
Jerash? Jerash, yeah. Taxi.
We have just arrived back at the lodge. We're just freshening up, having a quick toilet break before heading back into the desert, across the desert, back to the main road, and then we have a 3-hour journey to the city of JERASH, and we'll tell you more about that when we arrive there. On the way back to the main road, we've just stopped at this hilltop area in the desert, and there's lots of rocks here, and they've all got writing on, historic ancient writing. They believe it predates Islam because of the way the text is, but it's a Arabic language, and there's lots of different stories written on the rocks. There's engravings of oryx, lots of different characters, and there's so much of it. Like pretty much all the rocks here have some sort of carving or inscription in them. So quick correction, it's not an Arabic language, it's a Thamudic language, and they don't actually know what it says. It's undecipherable, but it's very beautiful, it's very artistic, but it's absolutely boiling up here, so we're going to head back to the cars now.
There's ones of like women giving birth. So we've just arrived at Souf restaurant, and we're kind of in the hills near Jerash, and food has just arrived. It's actually a women's association, so the women here run a lot of the restaurant, and lots of food has come out. So we've got olives, we've got bread, salads, we've got potato, chicken, and some local wheat dishes as well. So wish us luck trying to eat all of this.
We have just made it to JERASH after an incredible lunch, which was absolutely delicious, and this is one of the best preserved Roman cities from the Roman Empire, and the best preserved one, I believe, in Jordan. It's absolutely incredible so far. It's much bigger than I ever expected, and we've just come through one of the gates, and we're heading down to the other parts of the site now. We've just come into the area where the Romans would have had their chariots to create displays to show off, and it's a big area where they could have raced up and down and put on a really good display for the local citizens of the area. We've just walked down what I can only describe as the boulevard of the main city, and we've come down to this, what we have to now pass through a ticketed section, and come into this incredibly preserved, beautiful part of the city. We're now just walking past the Temple of Zeus on my left here, and it's a big, beautiful building, and apparently only up until 10 or 15 years ago, a lot of this was under the ground, and they've excavated it fairly recently, and it's just enlarged the whole archaeological site. It's really difficult to show on camera just how enormous this place is. There's bits, I mean, it's absolutely exceeded my expectations of how massive it is. There's bits going off down here. There's this oval open area. We've got more buildings behind me here. It's just absolutely massive, and we're doing a bit of a whirlwind stop now because the temperature is really hot, and so we're going to see as much as we can in the next hour or so, and then we're going to head back to the vehicle, and we're going to be heading a bit further south. We've just come into the amphitheatre now of JERASH, And if you saw our Ammon episode, you would have seen that the amphitheatre there was much bigger than this one. I think that was about 600 seats, which they worked out to be about 60,000 people in the city at the time of when the Romans were there. So you can see how big Ammon would have been from this city, because this city is absolutely huge and it's intact still. So Ammon must have been absolutely huge, because this amphitheatre is a lot smaller than the Ammon amphitheatre. Just need to correct myself there. This amphitheatre holds 3,000 and the one in Ammon holds 6,000. So with the multiple times 10, Ammon would have been a city of about 60,000 people, and that means this would have been a population of 30,000. So this is about half the size of what Ammon would have been. So it shows what the scale of the city of Ammon in Roman times would have been like. And this place itself here in JERASH is absolutely huge, so I can't imagine what that would have been like in Ammon. So it's absolutely roasting. It's about 40 degrees here at the moment. We're going to head back to the car now because we've still got a 2 to 3 hour drive to the Dead Sea. And when we get to the Dead Sea, well, maybe not tonight, but it's probably tomorrow it's going to be about 50 degrees at the Dead Sea. So it's going to be another 10 degrees warmer than it is here now, and it's going to be absolutely scorching.
So from JERASH we've just been driving through the mountains and we've just made it to sea level. So now we're heading to the Dead Sea and we're going even lower than sea level.
So guys, after a long day of adventure and travelling, we have made it to the Dead Sea, and we have got a beautiful sunset just happening behind us. We've just been taking some photos and enjoying the moment. We're probably going to go in the water tomorrow morning, so stay tuned for tomorrow's episode for that. And we really hope you've enjoyed this day and this part of the adventure, and we'll see you guys in the morning.